See, now if I know somebody say I should, I don't know that was sitting like that.
Hi everyone, Toridey. It's another beautiful day, and I'm here with my boss. Your name?
Oh, Alieh.
Alieh Kimbeng.
Yes, Alieh Kimbeng.
What are we doing today?
So today we're going to be talking about trending topics. Again, I don't know what we're going to be talking about, so I'm just going to give fresh opinion, fresh perspective. Again, my perspective.
Okay, I want us to start with the sex tape wahala. It's a horrible topic, but we need to. However, the guy who was involved in the sex tape, he came out and did a public apology. Despite the fact he's famous, he's rich, he has connections in Cameroon because he knows most of those big people and all that. He decided to come out, do a press conference and apologize to not only the young lady, to her family, and to every Cameroonian. What do you think?
Good for him. Good job for him not letting his ego getting in the way of doing what's right, because I think that he probably recognizes that this is a young woman who's 18. She has her whole life ahead of her, and something like that could stain her life. So, hey, kudos for him. It's not like his ego or how much money or how much connection he has get in the way of him doing what's right.
So the argument now is people are saying, okay, maybe those who have things in their closet should come out and confess and also make a public apology. Do you think that's possible, or do you think that's even something to...
I mean, I don't know. Maybe if it makes sense for you to come and apologize, but then I don't like linking one situation to the other, just because I would prefer an apology that is authentic versus an apology that you're just doing it to save face or to come across like, you know, this gentleman or person that you really aren't. So if someone has not come out of the closet to apologize, then that's probably not who they are. So again, they can keep it.
Okay. We talked the other time about Mr. Leo, and you said you liked his song JJ. That's the song, right? What do you like about the song?
Everything. I like Mr. Leo's vibe, his energy, his music. I just like him. He's a good artist.
Okay. Now, do you attend Cameroonian events?
Sometimes. Once in a while.
Do you think our people are actually listening and dancing to Cameroonian songs, especially songs of this generation?
I think they do, but not as much as I would say maybe like the Nigerian music, just because that's more popular. They might play one or two songs here and there, but it's not like it's going to dominate the entire party. Unless maybe they play like stuff that was back in the day, like the Coupe de Calais that people can really dance to, or Fali and things like that. But it's not the dominating music at the events, and put it that way.
So what do you think should be done to get, because normally we need to start dancing and playing our songs before other communities can copy. What do you think should be done?
I mean, maybe we can start playing more of our own music. But then again, as a DJ, I could see where people are coming from, right? Or as a DJ or as an entertainer at an event or a party. If you're playing music and you're not getting the energy from the people, then that's your cue to switch it up. So I can see why maybe the DJ might not play a lot of Cameroonian music if people are not responding to it. Because I don't know, if I'm a DJ, I'll feed off the energy of the crowd. Like if I play something and people are hype about it, I'll go that direction. If people are low, it's like they're probably learning how to, I don't know, like adapt. Hey, do we need to play more Cameroonian music?
So you're actually shifting the blame to Cameroonians, because if the DJ plays Cameroonian songs and they don't vibe to it, he definitely going to do something.
No, I'm not shifting the blame to anyone. I think maybe we need to ask ourselves, why are we not vibing to our music? Is it just that the genre is not appealing to us, or is it just that, I don't know, our music tastes are changing and our artists need to evolve the way that people are evolving? So I don't know. There's no right answer to this. I cannot say start playing more Cameroonian music. Maybe that would be a step towards solving the problem. But that's a really tough one, so I don't know.
Daphne versus Blanche Billy, which your pick?
I mean, I love Daphne, but that's just because I know more about her and I actually follow her. I don't know a lot about Blanche. So I'm just going to say Daphne because that's who I know more about.
Also, one time there was this argument that our female artists are not actually getting the same paycheck as their male counterparts.
Oh, welcome.
Or not even the respect. Or
welcome to the world. women get paid less than men everywhere. It's like it's not just a problem in the music industry. It's a global problem that people are trying to address that needs to be addressed. So, yeah, that's a problem we need to address. We need to have equal pay for women and men.
So if you were to fix that, what would you do, or what would you advise your fellow female, or especially those who are artists? What do you think they should start doing to maybe help in the struggle to fix the problem?
I think one thing, at least for me, whether it's a job or even stepping into a space, I think men negotiate. You can, from my experience, even with male coworkers, they're never gonna say yes to the first offer that you give them. Sometimes as women, we just say yes to the first thing that comes our way. We don't try to negotiate and really advocate for ourselves or for our worth, because maybe we feel like we're not gonna get something else. And that's one thing that I learned very early on in college. I've negotiated every single job that I've had for a pay since college. I've never taken the first offer, ever. And I'll write a letter and I'll be like, this is why I deserve this. So I think if a woman or if anyone knows their worth and they're able to effectively communicate it and say, hey, I deserve this because of X, Y, and Z, then they're probably gonna get paid more. Maybe not often, but
you watch soccer?
I do watch soccer, but I haven't watched all the whatever is going on right now, so I can't help you there.
So Cameroon is hosting Nations Cup.
Are we gonna have electricity?
Do you think it's gonna be a successful one?
I hope so. I mean, I'm rooting from Cameroon. No matter how much stuff or the struggle that's going on, I'm always rooting for my country. So I hope it's successful. But hey, even if it's not successful, you know, Cameroonians have a way to make it fun. So I trust them that even if there's no electricity, it's still gonna be fun.
Do you think there's any advantage in hosting such competitions?
Yeah, I think again, if you look at it from putting the country again on the spotlight or on the map, or bringing tourism in, or just like showcasing the country, because Cameroon is like a very small country and some people might have never heard about it. But if you're hosting things like, you know, the soccer cup or the FIFA cup or whatever you want to call it, the Nations Cup in Cameroon, right? It starts putting Cameroon on the map and people start getting curious. Okay, what is Cameroon? Or they have something to say. Oh, Cameroon hosted that Nations Cup, and then they can do more research and learn about the country. So yeah, I think it's definitely advantageous.
Did you know about West Madiko?
No, who's that?
A popular Cameroonian artist. I think he lived in the United States.
How old is he? Is this like an older person?
57. He died the other day.
Oh man, he's so rest in peace.
And I think last year we lost Manu Dibango. I don't know if it was this year or was last year. And do you think we have good enough artists that can actually take the mantle, like carry the mantle ahead from where they stop?
Yeah, of course. I mean, of course we do. We do definitely have artists that are good. Do they have good guides, good mentors, good people around them that are able to like really harness their talent and mentor them to get to a space where they can be like Manu Dibango and all that stuff? I don't know. Yes, no. But yes, we definitely do have good artists. It's just really about how, you know, we're able to harness their potential, because we do have technology and all the other stuff that the Manu Dibangos didn't have back in the day. So we're definitely in an advantageous point. Not we, the artists, I guess.
So many people feel like the older generation, like the artists from the older generation, they did nothing, little or nothing, to help the artists today to get to where they're supposed to be. Like, because that's the problem in Cameroon. Those who are up there don't want to give a helping hand to the next person. I don't know, for whatever reason. I don't know if that's how you see it, but so many people feel like that's the problem, and that's the reason why it will be difficult for us to get another West Madiko, Manu Dibango, and all the big names, the Richard Bonus and all that. So
I think for me to answer that, I would first of all have to understand what help means, or what does that look like? Like, define help. What does it look like if I'm trying to help an artist to come up there, right? So if you're able to define that, then I can maybe have a better answer.
So take for instance, somebody like Petit Pays, he had Sang Visa. And from Sang Visa, we had artists like Sami Diko, Paquito. We had so many artists, right? Take somebody like Kofi Olomide. He had, Katie Lateng. where people like Fally Ipupa came up from and all that stuff. But people like West Madiko, they did not have anything like a group or the same thing with Manu Dibango. Like you cannot pinpoint an artist and say, okay, Manu Dibango single-handedly kind of like helped this guy to this position. But then they serve as an inspiration though, you understand? So you can look up to them and do music, but you cannot actually say, okay, Manu Dibango actually groomed this, like trained this person, like, yeah.
Yeah, I think, yeah, then that's definitely a gap that needs to be filled. Maybe they need to figure out, okay, what does, maybe mentor a lot of these younger artists, and also what does like passing on that inspiration looks like, or just like, even like just building on the community. And sometimes it could be hard just because the genre of music back in the day and the genre of music that the artists are currently putting out there could be different. So maybe that could be a barrier, but yeah, I mean, in terms of mentorship, of course, we definitely need more mentors and more collaboration in the music space.
So, COVID. So many people feel like it was a blessing in disguise. Do you look at it that way?
I think it depends. It depends on who you ask. There's a lot of people who have lost their jobs. They've lost family members to COVID, and their lives have completely been turned upside down. So people that have gone through that, you know, it might be hard for them to see how that was a blessing in disguise, right? But then again, for someone like me, I thank God I didn't really lose anyone close to me to COVID. And also I was able to keep my job. I was able to work from home, and I actually had, I'll say, more time just because I couldn't go out. I was just at home, more creative space to actually focus on things and work on my book and other like creative projects I was working on. So if you ask someone like me, I can tell you, yes, it was a blessing in disguise, because it also allowed me to almost like that self-growth, and you know, it kept me grounded. But then again, it depends on who you ask. Like, these are just my experiences. I haven't had that major loss, but it might be completely different for someone that COVID has completely changed their lives.
What would you say to somebody who lost family, who lost a job, who was actually hit very hard by COVID?
I think I definitely empathize with you, and I really do hope that you're able to find strength in like the little things and figure out a way to, you know, still keep going, you know, because I don't want to be like, oh, everything happens for a reason, but I think that you've really been through the worst of COVID and you're still standing. So that should be like enough reason to keep you going, even though there might be so much loss around you. So just keep going, and may the souls of, you know, everyone who's passed away through COVID, like, rest in peace.
Africans, our community, not even Africans, do you think our people are actually investing back home as much as they're supposed to do?
Probably not. But again, do I blame them? No. Sometimes people want to invest, but then just the environment and the policies that are currently in Cameroon, they don't make it very conducive for people to go back home and invest. Do we need to invest more? Yes, but it's also a two-way street. Like, people cannot just go into a place and invest if they don't see any potential on the return of their investment. That's just being stupid as a business person. So
do you even miss anything about Cameroon?
Of course I do. I always tell people that if I could go back home and I make the same amount of money that I make here, I'll go to Cameroon and live there in a heartbeat. I love Cameroon. It's like when I was home for Christmas, it was just so beautiful. It was so peaceful. I didn't have to worry about anything. There was sometimes, you know, how there's no electricity. I wasn't even on my phone because you're just surrounded by people all the time that you're actually forced to live in the moment. So it was just so relaxing. I didn't have to worry about work. Didn't have to worry about what I was gonna eat. That was someone else's problem. It was just a good time. Like, really, like, you know, stress free. It was like, Cameroon's a good place.
What comes to your mind when you hear support your own?
Support my own?
Support your own, yeah. You know the phrase, right? It's popular out here.
Support your own?
Support
your own really means that you're really investing in your community, and that you're not just going up by yourself, but then as you're going up, as you're doing things, you're looking around you and say, okay, who is the next person that I can bring up with me? Who is the next person that I can collaborate on with this thing to make sure that their talent is shining as well? what local businesses or my community people having, and how can I invest in that? How can I buy local? How can I buy from my community? So it's like support looks different for everybody. For an artist, it could be like, can I subscribe? Can I share their videos? Because it costs me nothing to do those things, right? So support is gonna look very, very different based on who you talk to. But it's really about, it's honestly just open your eyes, look around you. Who can I bring up with me? Who can I work
Some
with?
people think support your own means if you are supposed to pick between a Nigerian and a Cameroonian, you must definitely pick the Cameroonian because you're Cameroonian. It doesn't matter if the Nigerian is actually what you want, maybe for a service or whatever. So for them, it's like, okay, I don't know. That sounds to me like
That's BS. I refuse. Let me put it this way. If I'm trying to buy something, right? If you're Cameroonian and your customer service is bad, your quality of your products is horrible, I'm not gonna buy from you because you're Cameroonian. If you want people to support you, you need to like put things out there or put yourself in the way that someone can support you and have the incentive to come back. If a Nigerian is doing all those things and the only difference between both of you is that you're Cameroonian and this person is Nigerian, okay, I'm gonna go to the Nigerian. I'm sorry, but I do want to support my community, but put yourself in a position where people are actually incentivized to support you. Like, don't just tell me to support you because you're Cameroonian. That's bullshit.
What advice will you look into the camera, and what advice will you give somebody who looks up, a young girl who looks up to you?
I think one thing, at least that I'm still learning, and that I'm really embracing now, is that you should learn to occupy space. And taking up space can look completely different for everybody. It could be for me at work, if it's speaking up more, or if it's voicing a different opinion that might be different from the masses, or if it's just showing up in my African outfit, because sometimes you can take up space by what you wear, by what you eat, just by the way you look. Like, whatever taking up space looks like for you, like, continue to do that, because I feel like the more I have taken up space, I've just become more comfortable with me and I've owned who I am. And it's just allowed me to just, unlock my potential and be fully authentic. So take up space. I think was it the last Miss Universe? I think she said something about that too, about taking up space and being leadership. And I think when she said that, it really resonated with me. So take up space.
This year and last year and the other year, so many Cameroonians, like the suicide rate in our community is actually going up. What do you think could be the reason?
I think there could be a lot of factors why, suicide rates are going up, right? Like, the US is definitely, just the environment and the culture is very stressful, and it's very competitive. And also in our community, we don't really talk about mental health. We need to have more conversations about mental health. We can just brush over people's mental health and be like, oh, you're gonna get over it, you're just having a bad day. Go to therapy. Like, talk to people around you. Like, I'm a full advocate of therapy because I have been through therapy. So it's really effective. So talk to people around you and don't be ashamed to seek help. It's actually not a weakness, it's a strength for someone to actually say, hey, you know what, I'm not perfect and I need help. That's actually like a strength. It's not even a weakness, because only a weak man is gonna sit there and is dying and they need help, and they're not gonna seek help because they got so much ego and pride and this image that they have to keep up. Like, people connect with you not based on how strong you are. People connect with you when you're actually vulnerable and be like, hey, I'm human. I'm going through this. At least for me, those are the moments when people have truly connected with me when I've been vulnerable. So be vulnerable and go seek help. I
want you to look into that camera and say something to those who might be going through this difficult moment, and maybe for some reason, I don't know, maybe if they go through therapy, they're going to find themselves up again.
Yeah. I think one thing too that I would like to say when it comes to therapy is that you need to find a therapist that you can trust and that you connect with for it to be effective. I've been through therapy sessions that have not been effective to me, but that's because I didn't trust the therapist. I didn't connect with that therapist on that level. So if you are going through any mental health crisis, like, please seek help. There are a lot of professional media or like outlets out there that you can seek help, and also talk to the people around you, because mental health doesn't really have a face. It doesn't look a specific way. There's someone who could look 100% happy in front of you, but that person could be going through severe depression and anxiety, and the next minute they're no longer here, you're like, wait, they look fine to me. So honestly, like, talk to the people around you. Like, find that one person or that community that you can open up to, and that person can support you, whether it's your family, your best friend. Like, just find someone that you can find some sort of comfort in, and also seek help. Again, if you can afford it. I think a lot of I don't know, insurances, or even just, I don't want to say healthcare, they're trying to make mental health more affordable, but literally, like, seek help, talk to people around you.
How do you choose those you talk to when you feel like you need to talk to someone?
I think it takes a while, right? I can't just see you today and be like, I'm going to talk to you. It takes a lot to build a relationship with someone, to trust. It's, to me, it really comes down to trust, right? To get to that point where I can say, hey, I can open up to you and talk to you like this, and you're not going to judge me. But then again, it takes vulnerability. So it takes me to be vulnerable to that person, and it takes that person to also be vulnerable to me, because I know that I'm not being judged. You know, I do have a lot of friends. I don't want to, I put my friends in buckets, but I have my friends that I could call 24/7 and just sit on the phone and cry with them for hours, and they would just sit there, and I'll have a bad day and I'll just cry, and they're just on the phone, and that's all what I need. And then you have other friends that you just go to, you know, to talk about specific things. So you just, yeah, you got to find those, but it takes time. Like, those things don't happen overnight. It really takes time for you to, like, build those relationships and get in a space with someone like that. So for me, it's time, trust, being vulnerable again.
All right, guys, beautiful session. So what is our advice? Something you want to say to somebody out there that follows Toridey?
Something that I want to say to somebody that follows Toridey again. So my sister always tells me when I'm going through a hard time, these too shall pass. So whatever you're going through, it shall pass. My sister tells me this all the time, and it's just something that I have learned to live by. And also, I've also learned to let go of a lot of things in my life. And I realized that once I let go, I open doors for, like, many other doors open for me. So if it's something that you're holding on to, maybe it's time for you to let it go, because there are bigger things ahead of you. I don't know who I'm talking to, y'all, but it's just what came to my mind. I wonder if I'm answering the question, but that's just what I'm going to say.
Oh, God. Now, the small story of Get Out today, I like talking to her because it's a blessing.
It's a blessing. Okay.
You have not done your own.
No, you give me, I don't know how to do it like you. It's like, it's like, you're putting me some work here.